What's going on, guys? Chase Ghost Picks against the spread. GhostPicksATS.com coming to you for Friday, July the 20th, 2018. It's good to be back, everybody. Baseball season is now officially back in full swing after the All-Star break. It was nice to wind down a little bit. We didn't really take any days off. We still worked every day. Hell, I think all but one day you still saw videos from me. But it was a nice time to, just kind of disconnect a little bit and just kind of, gather some information up as to the way we wanted to start the second half of the season and, spend a little extra time with family, not have to, spend all day, just worried about work. So it was much needed, and I'm not scared to say it. It was well deserved, and I was glad that we took it, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad baseball's back. It is late. It is 3:30 in the morning, Friday morning. But I'm bringing this to you because I caught the game last night at Wrigley, didn't get home until late, and, I had caught my second wind. I had already worked the majority of the day on Thursday from very early in the morning till about mid-afternoon on Friday's card, and then even worked on the CFL game and looked at some WNBA stuff. Jimmy and I are going to be combining WNBA probably for the remainder of the season. We'll get into that in just a second. But caught a second win. I said, you know what, I'm not going to go to sleep now. I've got a few hours left in me. Let's go. So I'm deciding to record the video now, put you on a free play, and I'll probably work for about another hour and then catch some sleep and then get up probably about 8 a.m. and get gearing up and going. I guess let's go ahead and do this. There is one early game tomorrow, and it is between the Cubs and the Cardinals. I think it's at 2 o'clock or 2:20. I'm going to make a play in that game, but I can't guarantee it's going to be a premium play. I will not push it out to anybody unless it makes the premium card. So, I know some people like to ask, like if I get, they know that I'm playing a game, but I push out my card and it didn't make the cut. They're like, well, what do you think? I trust you. We're doing premiums and top tiers only. I'm going to make sure that you guys stay the course, and the second half you absolutely kill it. So, just ride with me on that and trust me. The way I do things personally is a little bit different. I preach money management and bankroll management. My bankroll is not like everybody else's. I do this every single day and have been for a long time, to where for what I do for my own research, I can go out there and take certain risks that other people may not need to take as they're trying to grow a bankroll to a certain amount, to they be able to play what they really want to play, and they can truly afford it. So anyway, again, I have a play in that game right now. I do need to see what the lineups are officially going to be, which will probably be somewhere around 11 a.m. If you don't see a play in that game for me by 12:30 in the afternoon, I'm not going to push it out as a premium. That means I've laid off of it. I do have already one official play as locked in, ready to go. It could possibly be the top tier play, but again, I need to see. And a matter of fact, excuse me 1 second. I'm going to make a note right here, something that I see. A little bit of information. And I do need to see official lineups on that one before I make the decision whether or not it's going to be a top tier. So again, that one's already locked in. I'm going to give you a free play, and then we'll probably have at least 2 more locked in, as well as right now, I'm really liking a CFL game. Jimmy's hit on this a couple of times. We all have our own teams. We're all separate cappers. Jimmy and I don't discuss every game. Hell, most days we don't even talk. Not unless it's just business related. We don't discuss every game. Sometimes he wants to call me and ask me my opinion on a game, and I do the same with him. Hell, sometimes I'll do it with Jack or Derek. We do that in all sports, because sometimes you just spend so much time studying games and studying your game, and you're in your ways. You're stuck in your ways because your system works for you. And sometimes you're just so conflicted on one piece of information that you want to hear from an outside source that you trust. And I trust nobody more than, the rest of the team at Ghost Picks. So anyway, I know some people go, they'll buy a package from Jimmy and they'll buy a package from me. And if one person has a good day and the other one has a bad day, they'll look at, like if I have a bad day and Jimmy has a good day, they'll look at Jimmy and go, well, I need a free day because Chase had a bad day. He said, no, you can get Chase's, Chase will hook you up, but I gave you a winning day. And vice versa. So anyway, people just assume that we all, just sit around the table and talk about games all day. We have our own system. We have our own teams. No, I don't have a team of people with me in the MLB. That is one thing that I ride solo on. But in the NBA, I've got a team, and In NHL, I have one guy that works for me. In the WNBA, I have a guy that works for me. And in the CFL, I have 2 guys. And then Jimmy and I, for the remainder of the season, are going to be combining what we do in WNBA. Everything, every play will not only be discussed, we'll discuss personally with our own teams, come up to a conclusion, and then every time we decide we think we want to make a play, if I think I've got a play and I call him and he doesn't 100% agree with it based on his system and statistics, we lay off. Same goes. He's got one, I don't agree with it, we lay off. So some days we might think we have a play and don't, and other days I might not think there's a play and he'll call me and I'll look into it and I wholeheartedly agree and we end up having a play. So keep that in mind, guys. Contact Jimmy if you want to get more information on that WNBA. We are teaming up for WNBA for the rest of the WNBA season. But anyway, I've ranted on enough. I didn't give you an official free play yesterday. I gave you 3 leans. I gave you a lean on the Chicago Cubs to win the game. I gave you a lean on the Chicago Cubs over 9. And I gave you a lean on the CFL Hamilton over 51. Cubs easy winner, Cubs over easy winner. Hamilton, it was 51. They hit 51. It was a push. So I know some people, I looked at the line as it closed, and I think it closed at 50.5 average across the board. So if anybody did take that and get it at 50.5, congratulations. I mean, none of this goes towards my record because they were just leans. But if anybody took my leans, you went 2-0-1. Good day. Anyway, all right, so let's jump into it. Guys, if you have not watched my video from yesterday, it's a long video. At the beginning of the video, we recap the All-Star game. Then we go over some serious discounted promotions, not only for the remainder of baseball season, not only for NFL and college football separately, combined, all basketball, all football combined, everything, and it stops Sunday. It runs through Sunday. If you haven't looked at it, go check out the beginning of the video, and then go back and watch the rest later. I gave you 6, maybe 7 season win totals in college football. Every one that I personally played, those are my premiums, and I even gave you my top season win total in college football with West Virginia over 7 wins at even money. So guys, make sure you go hammer that information. Don't miss out. I also gave you my personal power rank top 10 for the MLB going into the second half. So a ton of information, long video, but everything is informative and it is well worth watching. So, guys, if you need anything, holler at me, chase.ghostpicksats@gmail.com. I'm going to make this short and sweet for Friday. We will have a promotion going in, the next week. But, again, I'm going to be conservative this weekend. Make sure you go watch the video. You want some serious discounts? That's where you get it at. And it's longer-term stuff. If you just want to do this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll do $149. That is $149, no top-tier plays. You'll get the play, you just will not know what it is. You want top-tier included, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, $199. So if you want to do that, holler at me, chase.ghostpicksats@gmail.com. Go to the website, holler at Jimmy, whatever you want to do, just get linked up, and we'll get you the plays this weekend. We'll make some money. Anyways, so let's jump into your free pick winner. I was torn between 2 plays, which one I wanted to give out. I'm going to give out my stronger of the 2. Philadelphia Phillies, San Diego Padres, playing at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Start time 7:05. Jake Arrieta on the mound. Richards on the mound for the Padres. Jake Arrieta obviously is the more dominant pitcher by far. He hasn't had the most dominant season, but he's really come to form over his past few starts. I think past 3 starts, he's got about a 1.89 ERA. Jake's a silent killer, man. He's like Hendricks. He is a silent killer. One thing about Hendricks that I thought was funny was tonight I was sitting, so we go to Wrigley. We're sitting there, and there's so many bandwagon Cubs fans ever since 2016 after the World Series. So we got a guy, and he's sitting to my right. And we were sitting there, and he's mouthy the whole game, like just basically talking shit about the whole Cubs, about the Cubs organization. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, hey, man, where you from? You know, we get to talking and everything. And he's from, I think he's in Tampa, Florida. And I was like, so you first time to Wrigley? And he's like, yeah. I said, how long you been a Cubs fan? And he's like, forever, man, forever. I was like, yeah, you grew up, you know, we got talking. I was like, yeah, you probably grew up with guys like this. And he knew absolutely nothing. He couldn't even tell me guys that played back in 2013. I think the only people that he could actually mention were Ryan Sandberg, Ernie Banks, Sammy Sosa, other than players that play right now. and then like Jake Arrieta and David Ross, people that were there in 16. So obviously, beyond bandwagon fan, it was funny to sit there and listen to him. But then he starts just railing Kyle Hendricks. He's like, "You throw like a pussy. You can't throw. I haven't seen you break 100-mile-an-hour all night. Throw it like a man. Throw it like you mean it. Throw with some power. You're not a major league pitcher." And I sit there and I finally look over and I was like, "Dude, cut him some slack. You'll never see him throw over 100 miles an hour." He said, "Yeah, because he's a scrawny little twerp." And I was like, "All right, dude." I said, "You do realize that Kyle Hendricks is not a very powerful thrower, right?" He said, "You're a major league pitcher. You throw in the 90s." I was like, "No, that's not always the case." I said, "Yeah, he cracks the 90s. But there's a reason that he plays the way that he does. There's a reason that they call him the professor. The way he picks apart strike zones and throws off-speed pitches, and he throws his change-ups, and he makes batters chase better than 95% of major league pitchers. He is a beautiful pitcher, but he does it with his mind and not his strength." And so I'm sitting there explaining it to this guy, and you should just see the look on his face where he was like, "All right, maybe I should just stop yelling because I know absolutely nothing about these players." And I just had to tell him, I said, "What you're yelling at him for, that's why you're getting so many dirty looks from true Cubs fans, because they know that what you're saying is something that he's never done nor will ever do, and you're ragging on him for not doing something that he never does." That was funny. I thought that I'd share that with you. I finally just had to tell him just to calm down and go get another beer. Anyways, so Jake Arrieta, silent killer just like Hendricks. Hendricks has had an off year. I'll give him that. He has definitely had an off year. But no, Hendricks will be back. Hendricks got a long career ahead of him. But Jake Arrieta versus Richards, on paper it doesn't match up. The way you watch them play doesn't match up. Their style of pitching doesn't match up. And just the form that Jake Arrieta's in right now makes this an easy call. Not to mention offensively, the Phillies are definitely the superior team, especially over the past 30 days. So line's sitting at -160 on the money line. You guys know how I feel about going that high. Taking on the run line and get +135. I'm willing to lay that. I'm willing to lay that, especially because Jake Arrieta's on the mound. And I think in this position, because this is the type of offense that he can go out there and play, and that's where you see Jake pitch full games. So it would not surprise me at all to see Jake go 7 innings. And Jake's the type of pitcher where if he's pitching well and he's controlling it, so what if he's getting, pop flies or whatever, and he's getting a base hit here or there? If he's controlling the offense and keeping them off a home plate, managers know to leave him alone, let him do his thing, and ride it out as long as they can and not deplete their bullpen. So this is the absolute best foot forward in putting Jake Arrieta up tonight and not having to touch hardly any of your bullpen if everything goes the way it should. -1.5 at +135. I love it. So that is your official free play, guys. I'm going to get out of here, go catch some sleep in just a bit. Like I said, locking everything down in the morning. Send plays out when they're ready. Potential CFL play. I've got a 1 p.m. conference call with my CFL guy to go over final things. He's digging into it overnight. We talked a little bit about it on Thursday, but he'll dig into it. I'll dig more into it, and I'll make a final decision on Friday as to whether or not that's going to be on the premium card. So, guys, we'll see you back here on Saturday. Glad to be back, and let's go make some money this weekend, guys, and it starts with Friday. Love you, mean it. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Go check out Jimmy's video, Jack's video, Derek's video, all my brothers at Ghost Picks. Show them some love, some support. Jump on a package. Let's start winning, and let's win together. Good luck, guys.